Previously on Orlando vs. Hollywood.
Morning. Part 2. I know I said see you when we're in Cali, but it's about 6:42. About to call an Uber. I got a flight at 9 to LA, and then we're gonna do Halloween Horror Nights there. I'm starting to regret this a little bit because my feet still hurt. I think I got enough sleep for what I did, but I got a 6-hour flight, so I'll probably sleep a lot more there. And then I'll be meeting up with some friends, grabbing some brunch, and then we're going to do Halloween Horror Nights there, and then go straight back to the airport to go home. Man, I miss my bed. All right, guys. We'll see you definitely now in Cali.
Now, as you watch me leave this plane and think about why I'm doing this video is going to be just like the last, with a few vlogging elements and presentation elements. And this part is going to be the same as well. Get off the airplane, post an IG that I landed in Los Angeles, wait for my Uber, and meet up with my friend, my spelling bee champion, Icky. If you want to see how he won my spelling bee, I'll have a link in the description for all of you so you can watch later. I also met up with my other friends who I haven't seen since 2019, Paolo and Krishna.
Oh, I think you said that you would leave me, and I'd be like, no, you wouldn't.
No, you would lick her toe.
Margot's gonna leave her husband for me.
That's
What universe
good.
are you living in?
No, but she would maybe let me lick her toes though.
You can lick your toes, but I don't think I'd want to kiss you for that.
Now after that, I decided to turn off my camera because I really haven't seen my friends in a while, and I just wanted to hang out without worrying about content. And after we did that, me and Icky decided to take an Uber, and we went straight to Universal Studios in Hollywood. Now, I gotta tell you, a lot of the footage that you're about to see, especially in the haunted houses, were taken from the YouTube page Attractions 360, as because they had better lighting. I'll try to add some of my footage in, but it was my first time doing this, and I really didn't mess with the lighting settings. So let's get started with the scare zones. Though I had my doubts about labeling this a true scare zone, I couldn't ignore its presence as it's on the official Hollywood Horror Nights map. My initial skepticism aside, and upon reviewing my footage, it became clear that this zone shared an uncanny synergy with the toy scare zone that we will talk about later in the video. Now, it's situated right at the entrance, and you're greeted immediately after you're past this hauntingly serene fountain. Inhabitants of this ethereal space were donned in ghostly white attire, with their pallid countenances and mystery props seemingly merging to create an unsettling tapestry of terror. Now, the biggest issue I had with this scare zone is that, again, you couldn't tell you were in a scare zone unless you really looked at the map or if an actor came to scare you. Now, in this scare zone, the toys awaken to a nightmarish existence. Towering over the scene is a menacing nutcracker, a ballerina gracefully escaping her music box, and that mischievous monkey that tirelessly pounds its tambourines. Only this time, it's not holding tambourines. A small macabre tableau beckons you forward, where someone gleefully assembles and disassembles toy body parts, while one hapless creation wreaks havoc. Amidst this chilling spectacle, a forlorn collection of forgotten toys gather in the dimly lit corners, and their silent desperation palpable. Now, despite its brevity, this scare zone left an indelible mark on the night, emerging as the highlight of the Halloween Horror Nights experience. Just when you believe you escaped from the clutches of monsters, the monsters of Latin America haunt, which I'll be talking about later in this video, think again. Right at the exit of Monstrous, there's an eerily captivating scare zone that ensures the chills persist, with what appears to be the undead relentlessly roaming about, attempting to draw you into their haunting realm. The attention to detail in the props and set design is remarkable, perfectly aligning with the theme. However, it's worth noting that a significant portion of the area is adorned with posters showcasing various menacing monsters. Now, this scare zone was okay. It really did fit the theme, but it just wasn't impressive to me. Now, while this wasn't an official scare zone for Halloween Horror Nights, this was definitely worth mentioning. Tucked away in the alley adjacent to Dervish and Bangs, this eerie experience immerses you in a thick blanket of fog, while ominous green lights obscure your vision, leaving you vulnerable to the attacks from the Death Eaters lurking on both sides. As you approach the end of the alley, a particular menacing Death Eater awaits, casting a spell that lingers with you for the remainder of the night. Though it's not officially a scare zone, this part was definitely a highlight of my night, at least in my opinion. Okay, so now let's get to ranking these scare zones. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be adding Death Eaters to this list because it wasn't an official scare zone, even though it really deserved to be one. So with number 3, we have Ghosts. Number 2, we have El Terror de las Momias. And number 1, we have Toys. As for scare zones as a whole, it was very lackluster in comparison to what I experienced in Orlando the day before. However, it's only because with Orlando they had Dr. Oddfellow literally taking over the whole park. Alright, now we're done with the scare zone. Let's get to the houses. Now, as we enter the realm of Stranger Things out in Hollywood, it is an exhilarating experience as we revisit Eddie's trailer. Capturing that viral and chilling moment when Chrissy wakes up to find herself mysteriously floating in midair. However, what sets this location apart is the feeling that you're just not a participant in the story, but you're rather an intrigued observer watching events unfold from a captivating distance. This unique perspective doesn't diminish the sheer brilliance of the set design, which is nothing short of spectacular. Throughout the journey, keen-eyed fans will spot intriguing distinctions between the Hollywood and Orlando houses, such as Eleven wielding her extraordinary powers against the sinister Henry Creel and the eerie Vecna house. The scares are top-notch. Revisiting this haunted attraction was a spine-tingling delight. Now, if I were to choose between the Hollywood Stranger Things house and the Orlando Stranger Things house, I think Hollywood takes this one. Where do I even start? Now, as I mentioned in my Orlando Halloween Horror Nights video, The Exorcist was the movie that kick-started my enduring love for horror movies. Now, my experience with this haunt was a stark contrast to what I just encountered with Stranger Things. Right from the moment when you step foot into this nightmarish attraction, you are transported to the heart of a Haitian village, navigating your way through its eerie shops. This immersive approach is a significant departure from merely just strolling past them as depicted here. The attention to detail is nothing short of astonishing, with the sights that even smells mirroring the Orlando experience almost flawlessly. However, what truly sets apart is the sheer intensity of the scares, the progression of possession growing increasingly harrowing as you make your way through the haunt. It's a spine-chilling spectacle in its own right. For me, this was a superior presentation compared to what Orlando had to offer. With two remarkable experiences in Orlando and in Hollywood, my choice is pretty clear. The Hollywood haunts have consistently left me thoroughly impressed, and this one is no exception. Even before stepping foot into this heart-pounding haunt, you're welcomed by a captivating pre-show featuring Ellie and Joel meticulously planning their way through the Pittsburgh zone.
I don't know why I did that, but...
What the hell did we get ourselves into?
We'll make it out of here. Don't worry.
Whoa. It's weird seeing a checkpoint with no soldiers.
That's what most Houstons look like. This place has been abandoned for a while.
What sets this experience apart is just not battling against the infected, but also the heightened roleplay by the Fireflies, adding an extra layer of tension to the narrative. As with the Orlando haunt, you witness the relentless progression of the infected, their malevolence intensifying with each step you take. However, it's at the end of this electrifying journey that the revelation hits you like a sledgehammer. Ellie and Joel's arduous odyssey was all in vain, as their ultimate destination is overrun by the infected. In my humble opinion, the Hollywood rendition of the house outshines the Orlando counterpart, offering a more enthralling and immersive experience. Now, as I made my way to this haunt, I was actually dreading it, given my lackluster experience from the Orlando version of this haunt. I even actually contemplated just skipping the whole haunt altogether. But man, was I in for a delightful surprise. From the moment you approach the entrance, you are greeted by towering stacks of Good Guy toy boxes, accompanied by a sign that proudly declares Good Guy Factory. Now, it's these little touches that elevated the experience for me. But what truly sets this haunt apart is the sheer intensity that grips you from start to finish. There are no lulls, No two-part segments, just relentless suspense and heart-pounding encounters. Chucky's ingenious methods of inflicting terror, from brutal stabbings to harnessing the power of electricity, and even wielding a defibrillator in a nightmarish hospital scene, are full display. Moreover, the surprise inclusion of Tiffany and their enigmatic child Glenn/Glenda adds an extra layer of twisted enjoyment. Yet, the most astonishing revelation was the presence of a giant Chucky. My enthusiasm might be palpable as I describe this, but it's because my expectations were astoundingly low. Now, this haunt easily secured a spot as one of my favorites of the night, proving that sometimes the most unexpected experiences can be the most thrilling. With a score of 4-0 in favor of Hollywood, let's see if Universal Monsters can take it for the clean sweep. As you approach this haunting experience, you're greeted by an awe-inspiring entrance featuring a French skeleton setting the stage for the impending chills. The narrative of this haunt largely mirrors its Orlando counterpart, introducing you to iconic figures such as Phantom of the Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Invisible Man, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, all within the eerie depths of the Paris catacombs. What sets this experience apart is the thoughtful guidance it offers. Signs hint at which character to expect next, and there are brief glimpses of these figures enhancing the anticipation. While the house may lean towards on the shorter side, I found myself enjoying it more than its Orlando counterpart. The magic of Universal Monsters truly shines in Hollywood, where the chills and thrills are a testament of the mastery of horror. And with that, Hollywood takes a clean sweep from the shared houses they have with Orlando. I'm actually kind of surprised that they took all 5, especially with the set design, the spooks, and the storytelling in the haunts. Now, let's get to the IPs that aren't shared with Orlando, starting with Monstrous, the Monsters of Latin America. Once again, Hollywood impresses with its captivating entrance sets, and Monstrous, the Monsters of Latin America is no exception. Now, the journey begins with a grim gravedigger ominously proclaiming that the grave he's tending is reserved for you. Despite my limited knowledge of the Latin American folklore, it didn't hinder my experience in the slightest at all. Each monster's backstory was skillfully presented, making it easy to immerse myself in the tales. It really felt akin to a casual evening with friends, sharing eerie ghost stories that we'd heard over the years. In fact, that's really exactly what it felt like. Now, Monsters offers a unique and immersive experience, boasting impressive animatronics and perfectly timed scares that sent shivers down my spine. It's safe to say that this was a very cool haunt, expertly blending folklore and storytelling with cutting-edge technology to deliver a spine-tingling adventure. Holidays in Hell is an exceptionally unique haunt. It takes you on the dark side on the most commonly celebrated American calendar holidays. From the moment you step inside, you are transported to New Year's Eve, welcoming the new year and witnessing the birth of a child, symbolizing the renewal of life. The journey through the haunt delves into the darker side of the holidays, including Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, the 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Each holiday is meticulously represented with ample space dedicated to showcase the horrors lurking within. The mascots of these holidays have undergone unsettling makeovers, enough to give nightmares to not just kids, but adults as well. The concept is undeniably fascinating, even though the level of scares may not have been the primary focus. Holidays in Hell serves as a striking exploration of the sinister undertones that can be found within our most cherished celebration. Now, while I haven't had a chance to see the new Evil Dead Rise movie, I was actually genuinely excited about this house, particularly because I enjoyed the Evil Dead movie itself. Based on what I saw in the trailer, it really appeared to be a modern take on the Evil Dead series, and the antagonist looked really cool. However, what this haunt offered in terms of set design seemed to come at the cost of spine-tingling scares I was hoping for. Some of the scares felt rather predictable, and it struck me that there were more animatronics than live scare actors in this one. The overall experience left me feeling like I was on a guided house tour rather than navigating through a haunted attraction. While my lack of familiarity with the movie might play a part, I can't help to think that there was no room for improvement either way. Alright, here we are, the Terror Tram. This was one haunt that I couldn't miss while I was out here in Hollywood. And it is a long-standing staple of Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights, and this year's theme of the Terror Tram is The Exterminators. And what that is, it takes you to a dark world of an exterminator that is actually working for the bugs to exterminate the humans. Now, the exciting twist is that the usual Universal Studios tram, it typically offers the tours of the studio, but now it leads you to a restricted area where you can actually walk the set. My inner horror enthusiast was thrilled as I disembarked the tram and ventured into the chilling Bates Motel set. Witnessing the various gruesome methods of human extermination was spine-tingling. Dear Lord. We just got here! We just got here! This is... Hi. Oh, look at these cars. Oh, are we slow?
We're literally the first tram of the day. We're commanding the pace.
Good. I don't like it when it's a conga line. Yeah. Then I know what the spooks are happening. We're on the Bates Motel set.
This is outrageous. I want to speak to your manager right now. Do you hear me?
That's a carrot.
I'm talking to you, Missy. What are you looking at?
We kill humans dead. 100% guaranteed for your money back. Need a demonstration?
Now, as you continue on your journey, you have the opportunity to take a photo op in front of the iconic Psycho House with a haunting Norman Bates lurking in the background. But the terror doesn't stop there. You also traverse on the set of the War of the Worlds movie, where humanoid insects wreak havoc on the neighborhood. And the final part of the haunt takes you through the set of Jordan Peele's Nope. While I haven't seen the movie myself, judging by the scare actors and their demeanor, it certainly creates an unsettling atmosphere throughout the walk. Undoubtedly, this Terror Tram adventure was the highlight of my night, offering a unique and immersive glimpse into the world of horror. And there you have it. Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights comes to an end. Now, let's see where I put these houses. I have 8 Evil Dead Rise, 7 Monstrous The Latin America, 6 Holidays in Hell, 5 The Last of Us, 4 Stranger Things, 3 Chucky's Ultimate Kill Count, 2 Universal Monsters Unmasked, and number 1 is The Exorcist Believer Haunt. Now, I decided not to put the Terror Tram in my ranking system as I feel like it was its own entity and it really blew everything out of the water. And also it had 3 haunts in one, so I felt like that was a disadvantage for the rest of the houses there. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of which house did you like the most if you went. Now, while I had a great time at both parks, there are key differences that made a huge difference from my experiences from both of them. Orlando had more haunted houses, better scare zones, and it had an overall theme, which is Dr. Oddfellow taking over Halloween Horror Nights. To me, that mattered because, I had an expectation of how the mood was set for the night, rather than just going in and exploring the houses just like with Hollywood. However, where Orlando lacks, Hollywood shines. Hollywood had better set designs. They also had a Terror Tram. And at least for me, when I was going through the houses in Hollywood, the storytelling was a lot better. But if I had to pick between Hollywood or Orlando to go again, I would definitely pick Orlando just because of the theming that they do every year with Halloween Horror Nights. Now, if you ever decide to go to Halloween Horror Nights, whether it be in Hollywood or Orlando, I highly recommend, 1, staying hydrated because you're going to do a lot of walking throughout the night. Definitely take your breaks if you need to get a snack or get something to eat. It really helps. And also go with a group of friends. It's a lot more fun when you have friends to go with. Also, I recommend wearing the most comfortable shoes you can wear because you're going to be on your feet all night. And last but not least, I highly recommend getting the Fast Pass. I can't recommend it enough. If you can afford it, go get the Fast Pass. To me, that's how I was able to experience all of the houses in one night. I know there are ways people can do it without the Fast Pass, but for me, I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to hop in line, get in the house, and get ready to go to the next one. The cost of the Fast Pass I will discuss later on, but it really all depends on which night you go, and the Fast Pass is dependent on which park you go to as well. Now, you're probably wondering how much did all of this cost this time? But before I get to that, I want to talk about the brand that I'm wearing, GLHF. It stands for Good Luck, Have Fun, and I was fortunate enough to grab this shirt right when it released. This shirt is their classic logo shirt, and on the back it says, "The only enemy is time." The shirts are great fitting, they're very great material, and if you use my code Santos at glhfculture.com, you'll get 15% off your entire purchase. Okay, now let's get to the cost of this trip. So at the time when I purchased it, my flight to LA from Orlando was $188.90. My Uber to get to my friend's place was $39. Food and drink was $50, or I estimated about there. And for Hollywood, it was the entrance plus Fast Pass in one ticket, and that cost me $259. And that cost varies depending on the night you go. So it could cost more at another date, or it could cost less at a different date as well. So the total we have for the Hollywood trip is $536.90. And if you remember from the Orlando video, that was $632.12. And my flight back to Philly, which was $304.90, to a grand total of $1,473.92 that I spent for the whole weekend. Now, would I do this trip again? Absolutely not. No way in hell would I ever do this again. Unless I really get a sponsor, but that's really the only reason why I would do it again. But no, I would not do this again. I mean, it doesn't mean I regret doing it. This was an awesome experience for me. It was worth every single penny that I spent. I was able to do something very few people get to do, and I get to share this experience with a few of my friends. However, the physical toll that this trip took on me was something that I would not recommend anyone doing within the time frame that I did it. And that's it, guys. That is my journey of going to Orlando Halloween Horror Nights and Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights in 48 hours. Guys, I'm on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, on X/Twitter, whatever they want to call it now, at Mr. Santos Live. And also, if you want to see me play some video games sometimes, it is twitch.tv/Mr. Santos24. I want to thank my buddy Icky for joining me on this adventure. I want to say hello to Krishna and Paulo for also meeting up with me before I came there. And also, again, a big thank you to my girlfriend Sam for helping me out with the script, because honestly, I don't think I'd probably sound as good if it wasn't for her. Well, again, guys, love you. Like and subscribe. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.